Welcome back to The Breakdown. Sports director Brian Brinkley joins us now with more on what we can expect tonight and throughout the series. Hey, Brian.
Hello.
So, okay, tonight in Game 1, the good news is we have J-Dub back after his hamstring injury. What does that say for your prediction on how we might play with him on the team now?
Well, I mean, they played really well without him, which is impressive to not lose a playoff game. 6 of their 8 playoff games have been without J-Dub. I think there's a little bit of concern because he's admitted this because he's been in and out of the lineup the whole season. When he comes back, it just feels a little different, not only for him, but for the rest of the team that he's out there. That being said, you want to have Jalen Williams on the floor, and it's another weapon that the Spurs are going to have to be aware of, obviously. So it's welcome. Tonight will be really interesting to see how well he plays and how aggressive he is on offense, because he was kind of took it slowly when he was first coming back from those injuries and kind of slowly got himself up to speed with that. We'll see how aggressive he is tonight, especially on offense.
Yeah, and we heard Holden talking about earlier during our 6 p.m. newscast, talking about how the Spurs, we've lost to them 4 times. So, I mean, they're obviously very good. That's why they're here. So what are you thinking tonight?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because psychologically, the Thunder have really been mowing people down the whole season, and even going back to last season, obviously, as the NBA champion. But the Spurs, for a while there, it really got everyone's attention. Wow, these guys are really good. They're beating the Thunder not just once, but twice, and then it ended up being 4 times. Right. So the Spurs definitely come in with a lot of confidence. That's what's on their side going into this. And I know with the Thunder having home court advantage, they just want to get one of these first 2 games at home, or in Oklahoma City, and then go back to San Antonio and have home court advantage there. So the Thunder talk about how the regular season is a whole different story, and they're right. The playoffs is a whole different clean slate. But you have to wonder how much that's on their mind, in the back of their mind. Isaiah Joe said maybe they didn't take him as seriously as they should have. Maybe that's correct. But this is definitely going to be, I think if the Thunder can get through this series, they'll win the NBA title no matter who wins the East. This is the series that will determine the NBA champion.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's exciting. Fingers are always crossed, of course. So Mike Tirico with NBC Sports, he's going to interview SGA right at the start of our 7 p.m. coverage. Our coverage starts at 7. The game tips off at 7:30. But one of the things he's going to talk to him about is his back-to-back MVP award. And usually SGA is very humble. What do you think he'll say tonight?
I think it'll be the same. He had some interesting comments last night at his news conference, because I wondered, what's he going to talk about now? Because we don't need to hear his whole life story again with the MVP. But one of the things that really jumped out at me is what he said last night, and what I expect he'll say tonight with Mike Tirico, is how the way the Thunder franchise is set up, it allows him to become the player that he is. And he knows this MVP award, in a lot of sense, is really a team award. And if you don't have the right people around you, you're not going to be MVP. Or if you are MVP, you're on a team that's not contending for the NBA title. So I think you'll hear him say a lot of things positive about what the Thunder have allowed him to become as an individual player, which leads to team success.
Yes, very, very humble guy. All right, we have a poll going right now at KFOR.com/sharewith4, the number 4. You can go there and vote. What we're asking is, will the Thunder win this tonight? Will they win this whole series? Will they sweep it? Will they win maybe in game 5, 6, 7? Or will our winning streak come to an end and this will be the end of our season? So what are your thoughts, Brian?
I cannot see them sweeping. If they sweep, then they may go 16-0 in the playoffs. I think this is at least going 6 and probably 7. I mean, I just think based on what the Spurs did in the regular season, I have to expect this is going to be a tight series, and the days of sweeping teams, at least for this season, are over for the Thunder. But we'll see. If they can win the first 2 at home, you never know. They may go to San Antonio with lots of momentum, but I really think it's important the Thunder win these first 2 at home. If they split, boy, this could be a long series, and could be possibly the end of the Thunder season eventually.
All right. Knock on wood. Yeah. Let's go Thunder. Brian, thanks so much. We appreciate it. And if you'd like to comment on our poll, if you'd like to chime in, again, you can go to KFOR.com/sharewith4. We're back with your weather discussion next.